Alright everyone, it is Dokkan time, and today we will be doing a how-to build for the new 10th anniversary Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. So, during the time of this recording, it is at part 1 of the 10th anniversary, and because of that, there are certain part 2 units that will not be a part of this video. I may or may not create an updated version of this video in the future due to the lack of, well, options I feel that this Vegeta is missing out on. And he does kind of create a, how do I put this, a kind of weird space because he shares the exact same name as the Intelligence Vegeta, and the other Vegeta I feel is just in some ways better than this Vegeta. I would feel that this one is more of a damage dealer and the other one is more of a defensive unit, but it also can do very good, considerable amount of damage. So, but anyways, I'm rambling on. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So, as far as 200% leader options go for this Vegeta, the primary only leaders that you're really going to run him on is his own leader skill, and then maybe Tech UI, even Jiren, I feel, maybe even the transforming Super Saiyan Vegeta. But honestly, he doesn't have too many crazy 200% options, and I would like to note that during this 10th anniversary, we have now officially received a higher level of leader skill, which means that we are at 220% now as the new threshold area, and in even some cases, 250 to a degree. But we'll get more into that into other those units. So he is a 220% and Key +4 Universal Survival Saga leader. This makes him the highest leader skill option for all of Universal Survival Saga, meaning that you will get an extra 40% boost in total across HP, attack, and defense with rocking him, your own leader, and a friend leader. He does raise attack and defense on his 12 key, and then he greatly raises attack and defense on his 18. And he does have a unit super attack, which greatly stacks his attack and then greatly raises his defense. This can only be activated, though, if you have a Goku ally attacking in the same turn. I will say that this specifically says Goku. It does not say Ultra Instinct. It does not say Omen. It doesn't say Super Saiyan, yada, yada, yada. It says Goku. So this means that if you throw him onto another team where it's just Goku as an ally, for instance, the new Tech Vegeta that has the Goku Vegeta exchange unit, that guy does count as Goku. So you can get it to proc with that. I would also like to note that Tech Vegeta, because of the Goku and Vegeta exchange point, even when you exchange into the Tech Vegeta, the Angel Vegeta, you will still get the unit super for having Goku attacking on the same rotation, because the Tech Goku Vegeta exchange unit are both Goku and Vegeta at the exact same time, regardless of who is on the field at that point that you have switched to. So just pro tip right there. Now going into his passive, he does have an entrance and animation when there is another Universal Survival Saga category ally on the team upon the character's entry. He does get attack plus 60% and a damage reduction of 30% for 6 turns specifically. I do feel like this is kind of necessary to fully build up this unit and take advantage of his abilities. He does have attack and defense 200. He does randomly change key spheres to rainbow key spheres, except for STR. He does get an extra additional 200% when attacking. For every single time he attacks, which means this includes normals or supers, he gets an additional key +1, which is infinite. So he can completely ramp up his key at max at some point or another. And then he gets an additional defense plus 40% up to 200%. So that can get only capped at 200. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So after 5 attacks, which you could do technically turn 1, you could have him fully built up. He also gets an additional damage reduction of 7% within the turn. I don't know why they threw that in there. It's very weird. And for every 2 key spheres obtained, you will launch an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack up to 5 times within a turn. A medium chance of super attack is 30% chance. So this means to get to 5 extra super attacks, you would need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 key spheres obtained by him specifically. So you would need to get 10 key spheres. In my experience, even with his orb changing, I would say that usually an orb changer will allow you to grab up to 8, usually around the 7 marker. So I would just presume you could get an additional 3 or 4 attacks out of him. And then after the character performs a 6 or more super attacks in battle, he will get another additional damage reduction of 30%. And then after he performs 7 or more super attacks in battle, he'll automatically perform a critical hit. Now, y'all understand that every time I make a build video, if a unit has built-in crit that's at least 50% or more, I don't see a reason to give him crit. There's just no reason to give that unit crit if they already have the crit built in. Crit is one of those things where it's just kind of like, it's an easier thing to obtain. You get so much more boosts out of the additionals, and depending on the unit, maybe dodge is even a little bit more prioritized. But it just depends on what the unit. Every unit is different. Every unit is different. His links are Prodigy's Royal Lineage, Godly Power, Prepared for Battle, Tournament Power, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. He is on several categories, including one that does not currently, at the time of recording, have a it does not have an actual leader. Successors is a category in the game. It is one of the only categories that these two new units will be on together on a fully led up to 200% ability. I do want to emphasize that I do feel, because of this 220 push in leader skill, that I do feel we are at the point now where we have to actually push the 200% options on our teams. Because we have crossed into a new leader skill height, that means that challenges and events will start moving forward, assuming that you have 200% options, that you have potentially maybe some teams or a team that could be 220. They will be taking into consideration of that. So 170 teams, whereas prior used to be doable and runnable, I feel now will feel the equivalence of like a 150 team from when we first got 200%. So this is just something to keep in mind with this guy and the moving forward anniversary units. But as far as link partners goes, of course it's Vegeta, and he is a Tournament of Power one, so he best links with himself and other god-formed-esque Vegetas, and of course Ultra Instinct Gokus. I really feel like you have to run this guy with Ultra Instinct Goku, or you have to run him with a Goku in order to get that stacking attack. Otherwise, I just really don't see much purpose in running him. I feel that because you'll be running double lead of this Vegeta, that you'll want to run the intelligence one, but they have the same name, so they can't link up together. What this means is that you'll have, if you do run the intelligence Vegeta on this team with a double STR Vegeta, that means you have 3 characters with the exact same name. What this means is that if you have one rotation with this Vegeta, and then you have another rotation with the same Vegeta, that means the third Vegeta is forced to be into the third slot to be floated. Which also forces these other 2 Vegetas on the rotations to be in slot 1. This Vegeta is not a slot 1 unit. He is not. So it's very unfortunate, but the intelligence Vegeta will either potentially ruin, I wouldn't say ruin some runs, but could cost some turns that would otherwise just have been better suited. Which is unfortunate because the intelligence Vegeta is just very good. He's still very good to this day. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the defense numbers. I apologize for dragging this out so long. There is a lot to take into consideration with these new units, and I just have to say my peace of mind. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the stats from Halvard over on Twitter. I usually pull up Luke Rocket Lizards, but he does not have any attack or defense calculations. I can tell you that the attack numbers roughly for Vegeta start of turn will probably be somewhere in the 20 million plus range. It really depends on how many additionals you're going to get off on how high his attack can get to. But it's not like absurdly crazy numbers of attack, I will tell you that. We're not talking like 30, 40, 60 million. Not unless you're really getting in those additionals. In my experience with additional characters like this, and Rose specifically, Rose is a very good comparison unit. The physical Rose is a very good comparison unit to how this Vegeta works. I can tell you from experience that more than likely you will only be additional supering once or twice. So expect to only get to 2 or 3 additionals. Do not expect that you're going to see 4, 5, 6 additionals. It's very unlikely that you'll be getting any of these numbers, unfortunately. And as we saw in his kit, he does have 60% damage reduction, potentially. It's just not likely that you'll hit a turn where you could get to 60% damage reduction. I think it's very unlikely that you'll be at a point where that is doable. I think on average, you'll only have the 30% damage reduction. I believe you'll only be at the 30% damage reduction. He doesn't have any guard, and unfortunately, it just doesn't go very far. So, defense-wise, I think he's okay for right now. But moving forward into the new meta, I don't feel like these numbers are going to be enough, in my personal opinion. But I do believe that these are still under a 200%. I'm not entirely sure if Halvard has calculated this into a 220 market. My assumption is that he would, but I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to assume these are 200%. And that means for players that have 55%, please do remove about 200 to 300k defense off of these full build-up in numbers, because even at full build-up, if you're only rocking 55%, you can easily knock off 200 to 300 plus defense off of these total numbers. But, you know, in the very unlikely scenario that you could actually get a super attack out of each of these 30% chances, including your hidden potential, yes, he can have an absurdly high defense with support and so forth. But I don't think it's very realistic. So I could say he's a very RNG character. He's super RNGesus. I'm having a hard time liking him right now at the time of recording. Perhaps my opinions will change. It is only day 1. So I've just been doing the math. I've been going across the teams in the game, and I'm just basing it purely off of what I can see right here and right now. Moving forward, this guy is a very good unit. He is a very good unit. So please, you know, don't attack me. Don't attack me. I don't want a repeat of last year's anniversary with the Intelligence Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. But yeah. So let's just kind of go over his hidden potential build now. So his 55% option, I would highly suggest you just pull into additional. That's where you're going to aim towards his dupes, because eventually he's going to be able to auto crit. There's no reason to give him crit. I know he's an STR unit, but you know, yeah, it's unfortunate. I hate it when Dokkan does this. Dokkan always does this. They give units that are STR and that are tech, and they give them built-in crit, and there's just no reason to give them more. So it's just really weird, and it throws me off. But as far as like dupes go, it's just full additional. It really is. I don't think the dodge will save him. So for dodge advocates, you know, you do you. I don't judge. We don't judge here. I mean, this is a single player game. You can build your unit however you choose. This is only a mere suggestion for you. But I feel like the best way to run this Vegeta is just full on additional. And as a last second thing to note, actually, before I go into the role tips, this unit and all of the other anniversary units for 10th anniversary will more than likely get special equip orbs. So please, when you're building these units, use EX skill orbs so that you can replace these with the better EX equipment that they will more than likely be giving to us either during the anniversary or potentially after, maybe even next year. But the point is that these, you want to make sure they're EX skill orbs so that you can replace them with their special equip orbs. So far, every single anniversary unit has always received some type of special equipment orbs, and they usually have an absurd amount of extra defense or attack or HP, along with some extra increased boost to hidden potential nodes. So please do make sure that you're using EX equipped orbs so that you can swap these out. I do not know if I would really... I don't think I would change my build. So moving forward, if the game has released EX skill orbs that are exclusive to this Vegeta or any other 10th anniversary units, just replace them. You do at your own discretion. They're EX skill orbs. They're there to be replaced at any time that you so choose. So let's go ahead and move into the final part of this video, which is going to be the role tips. So as far as the role tips go, I do feel like Vegeta is primarily a damage dealing unit. He's not necessarily super defensive. He's not supporting in any sort of form of the way. So he's primarily a damage dealer in my opinion. He is a carnival unit. As far as his leaders go, at the time of recording, once again, there is no currently successor new category unit. So my presumption is that in part 2, we will get a successor-led unit that this Vegeta could potentially definitely use as a leader. And I hope that that is the case because he definitely wants another leader other than himself to run under a 220 lead. Otherwise, if you did not get this Vegeta, or perhaps you just want a different option, change things up, Vegeta, the Super Saiyan transforming Vegeta, is a very most excellent option as a leader. It's under 200%. All of these leaders right here are 200%. So Jiren and Tech UI especially are very good options for 200%. As far as partners go, I do feel like Beast Gohan is a good slot 1 option for Vegeta. Speaking into slots, I do feel like Vegeta is a slot 2 unit. I don't feel like he belongs in slot 1, and I do feel like he needs a slot 1 unit to give him the ability to build up with additionals and so forth, and do his thing in slot 2. That being said, as a partner unit, it's obviously going to be Ultra Instinct Gokus, or any Goku for that matter. I did put the Tech Vegito Goku Vegeta exchange unit right here because in the base where you can exchange between Goku and Vegeta, you can switch to Vegeta, who is an excellent slot 1 option, by the way. He'll link better with this Vegeta, and he'll still get the Goku unit super attack going off, so he is a very, very good slot 1 option. It's just unfortunate that this unit doesn't really share too many 200% options with this Vegeta at the time of recording. So hopefully that does change because he's a very good option for that. But anyways, I think that's about it. I think that's about it as far as this Vegeta goes. I don't really have too many other thoughts on him right now. I do hope that he gets better leader options. I do hope that he gets better partner options. Because right now he's pretty cut and dry. Just additional. Pray to RNGesus that he gets tons of additional super attacks going off and just let him go ham. So let me know what you think of this Vegeta. What team did you use? What's some combinations of partners and so forth that you have tried out? And anyways, everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good day and a good night.